Hi, I'm going to read you a story, Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. This story was written by Judith Viorst. She is if you said author, you were right. And the story was illustrated by Ray Cruz. Ray Cruz, he did the pictures, sure. This is the title page. Remember, the title page gives us the title or the name of the story. Title is the grown-up word to use and the correct word to use. It also tells us the author's name and the illustrator's name. Here we go. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on my skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box. And Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. At school, I missed a page, I'm sorry. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got car seats by the window too. And I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dixon liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. I think he was trying to trick his teacher. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend, and I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone and lands in Australia. There were two cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. He sure doesn't look very happy, does he? That that's what it was. Because after school, my mom took us to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found the cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Huh. Next week, I'm going to Australia. Do you think he would have any better luck if he moved far away on the other side of the world to Australia? I don't know. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And that's not a kind thing to call somebody those names, is it? While I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and for fighting. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody, but no one even listened. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, "We're all sold out." They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, "Please don't pick me up anymore." It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV. I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes, and my marble went down the drain. And I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Even in Australia. Thankfully, we don't always have bad days, but sometimes we do. Think about this story. What happened at the beginning of the story? Think about what happened at the end of the story, and think about what happened in the middle of the story. I got a little mixed up through the beginning, the middle, and the end. Think about that and see if you can recall and tell somebody about this story. Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Bye for now.